Southwest CEO says he never wanted a COVID vaccine mandate, but Biden forced his hand. Is that what Biden is? He's the patsy. For the CEOs, for the establishment, they're like, I'm imagining the CEO sitting there and he's trying to do this vaccine mandate. And like the CEO from some other company, like, AA's there. And it's like, everybody's mad at me. What do I do? Oh, just blame Biden. What do you mean?
Of course.
You don't blame, you're not blaming Biden for your problems? Oh, Biden's our fall guy. Yeah, all of the problems in the economy right now, everything bad happening, you just say Biden did it. Okay, and he comes out and he's like, I didn't want a vaccine mandate. Biden made me do it. Even though Biden didn't make anyone do it because there's no actual executive order or OSHA rule. But it's a convenient out for a guy who's collapsing in his approval rating for the Southwest CEO to be like, I don't know, everybody seems to be mad at the guy. Let him take the fall for me.
I think this is a continuation of the same thing. This is them wanting the appearance of the thing without the actual thing. They want the appearance of bowing to this superior, having some kind of responsibility to what Biden has told them to do, even though they haven't actually made a law or a rule or even a mandate. So they're just taking the appearance. They don't really care about what's actually true.
Look at this. Let me read this. They say, quote, I've never been in favor of corporations imposing that kind of mandate. I'm not in favor of that, never have been. But the executive order from President Biden mandates all federal employees and then all federal contractors, which covers all major airlines, have to have a vaccine mandate in place by December 8th. So we're working through that. Now, that sounds a bit circuitous. There is the federal employee mandate, as my understanding, but this covers all the airlines? I didn't know that. Southwest said last week that's 56,000 employees need to be vaccinated by December 8th in order to keep working for the airline under federal mandate. Southwest's announcement came a few days after other carriers, American Airlines, Alaskan Airlines, and JetBlue, informed employees of the need to adhere to federal vaccine rules. In August, before the Biden administration's action, United Airlines and Hawaiian Airlines instituted COVID vaccine requirements for their staffs. United said earlier this month that more than 96% of its 67,000 U.S. employees have shared proof of vaccination after its late September deadline. What was the amount of employees they had before this was announced? And also, just to throw it back to what Ian said, around August is when Joe Biden announced the vaccine mandates, and that's when his approval rating flipped the inflection point, when all of a sudden people were like, I don't like this guy. Because I'll tell you, I mentioned this on the show several times. I know somebody who is like Biden and waving Biden flags, and now he's freaking out because he's like, my job is going to force me to do this and I don't want to.
Yeah, some people are saying that the Southwest CEO is in the World Economic Forum, is a part of that group. And it's also just very convenient that he's just lumping everything on Biden. He doesn't have to comply. There's a lot of other people. There's a lot of unions. There's a lot of big companies saying we're not going to comply with this. And there was even a statement saying that Southwest will not be using the Texas exemption as a way to implement, this vaccine passport, this vaccine mandate, which they're imposing. There's also a very interesting date that they're setting, not just with Southwest, but many other corporations are setting the date of December 8th as the deadline. It's all kind of done in unison, which is oddly strange as well. But again, no one is forcing Southwest to do this. It's an executive order. Executive decrees are argued. They go to court. There's a lot of very important court battles. So he's moving forward with this. And clearly a lot of his employees, a lot of the people who work for him, aren't happy with this, and they're protesting in their own kind of unique way that we're seeing with this freedom flu that's going around.
I don't think it's protest.
I think
kind of.
I think yes. There's a very kind of blurred line here because the pilots don't want to get officially in trouble.
No,
here.
I don't. I talked to a pilot and he's like, it's worse than a sick out. Like this, a lot of people want to believe that all these pilots are like, hey guys, should we jump ship right now? And they'll high five, but don't let anyone know because we'll get in trouble. When in reality, it seems like, as we've been saying time and time again, you can only push people so far. Yeah. I don't see evidence of an organized effort. I see regular people just saying, I'm out. And that's something substantially worse. It's like, so this is what I was saying the other day. Imagine if Biden came out and said, in order for everybody to keep their jobs, they got to go punch a baby. And then all of a sudden it's like record resignations, airlines shut down. What's happening? It's like, dude, no one organized an event not to punch babies. They just won't do it. That's what people need to understand about vaccine mandates. It's not like some guy called his friend and said, let's organize together and refuse this. It's a guy being like, I ain't doing that. Just on his own. He didn't need anybody to tell him to do it.